All right, guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man Jay. We are back another week. Let's talk about the E-Ray. But first, let's recap last week's video. I thought it was very entertaining. So, if you don't know, if you haven't seen last week's video, go check it out. I found a comment online, and the gentleman was saying that the E-Ray was basically a paperweight or a brick up top. And instantly, people like drama, and so the comment section is flooded with people saying something I didn't expect to see. But people were talking about there was nothing else to grab from this, but the top speed is faster on the Stingray. That is what became like this big thing. I don't know. That's all Stingray. Well, I'm not gonna say all Stingray owners, but some of the people in this video probably don't even have a Stingray. Like the people that were watching that other video, they were just Googling it and cutting and pasting it into the comment section. Well, folks, as a previous Stingray owner, yes, I know the top speed is 194 miles an hour. And the Z51 package is 191. The E-Ray is 183. So when I guess some of these people who love the Stingray or were offended by the comment, all they had was that the top speed is faster. One funny comment I saw was that, well, if they started 150, will the E-Ray still win? I'm like, what? Now the reason this person is, some people were saying that, one person said that, is because GM's conversation about this car, I think they're hiding more than it's definitely more than what meets the eye, because some people's front engines have hit 200 horsepower. Mine has hit 181 horsepower alone. So, and some people are reading the statements from GM where it says the engine on the front, the electric motors, turn off or disconnect from the rear. That's kind of the way it's worded, at 150 miles an hour. So some people are running with this thinking that the E-Ray just becomes a regular Stingray up top. And I find that strange because if you keep reading, it clearly states that it's dependent predominantly on the rear. Also, in that same article or GM's book, it says that the car is always all-wheel drive because of the battery reserve. So I kind of was chatting back and forth with some of these people that were making this comment, and I was like, I think it's funny. I think it was a good conversation. And one guy was very adamant, thinking that I was getting upset. I just was replying back because I wanted him to actually say something that was worth talking about. And the only thing he come back was that at 150, he feels like the cars are equal. Now, as a previous owner of the Stingray, I can tell you these cars are not equal by a long shot. They're not equal. Not down low, not up top, not in the middle. They are not equal. Regardless of what you see on paper, folks, I said it in the other video. I said, you go line up your Stingray next to E-Ray and you take off and watch what happens. Come back and tell me. No one can really do this because I guess they just wanted to keep reading what was on the manual. And I just didn't know that people felt like the top speeds were so important in a street race or a race at the track. Yes, the top speeds are important, but once you hit that quarter mile or half mile, that's the race. So whoever is there first, they win. Yeah, you've seen half mile races and quarter mile races and eighth mile races. The Stingray has a lot of torque. But the E-Ray has more. And so I think dealing with that, I clearly, on the internet, people can be whoever they want to be. But I said in that video straight up, if I've raced a Stingray before, they didn't have a man. They didn't, and these aren't people that some of the people I knew, some people I didn't know, and their responses are all the same. Gosh, that thing takes off like a rocket, even rolling. Now, in that previous video, I showed you some footage of me passing some Corvette Stingrays, right? I blocked out the speed. I blocked it out. But in reality, the speeds, those Corvettes were already going like 107 miles an hour, and they were hitting it. And you see me just go straight by them like nothing. So while I have not hit 183 miles an hour yet, I can tell you that, folks, like I said in the previous video, take your Stingray, line it up. Stop reading the manual. Just go out and line up your Stingray next to an E-Ray and watch what happens. So, like I said before, Stingrays are the most bang for buck for a person who can't afford to move up to the E-Ray or Z06 or whatever. That is just a smart move. If you don't want all that extra power and you're not probably going to track your car a lot and you don't want to add anything to it, Because there's a lot of Stingray owners. When I go to Corvette meets, there's a lot of stock Stingrays. Some of them pretty much they'll have like new wheels or something like that, or they'll have something added to their car. But most of the cars out there are stock. You know why? Because all the people who say, well, oh, you slap a supercharger on or slap a twin turbo kit on it and it'll beat so and so. What they don't talk about is the price. Folks, some of these people buying these Corvettes at $60,000, $70,000, they're paying for these cars monthly. They can't afford to spend the price of the car to pay it off just to make it go 1 second faster. Some people who look at the ERay, they don't see the value there versus the Stingray in their argument. And I respect it, obviously, but some people don't think that the $20 to $30 to $45,000 jump from the Stingray to the ERay is worth it. I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it based on owning both cars. I've owned an ERay for a year. My 24, I owned it for a year. This 25 that I'm showing you here, I've owned it for maybe 3 to 4 months now. But I owned a 24 ERay for a year, and I owned a Stingray for a year, C8s. And I would never go back to a Stingray. I just wouldn't. There's too many things about the ERay that make it worth it to me. The better looking exclusive wheels, the carbon ceramic brakes, the all-wheel drive, the you just keep naming all the things that you can see about this car that's better than the Stingray. The wide body for one. I mean, come on. It's ridiculous. So, but that's just my personal preference. I love the Stingray. The Stingrays are fire. But if I'm going to have a Corvette, I'm going to stick with an ERay or above. I'm going to stick to an ERay or above because that's just what I want to do. So I don't see some of you guys don't see the value in the ERay. But my point to the people that always throw it out there in the comment section, well, if you seen Boost District's ERay, throw a turbo on it, or twin turbo, whatever, supercharger, and it'll be faster. Yeah, but do you guys know how much that cost? A lot of people who are recommending this stuff, they can't even afford to do it themselves. But me, now that is where I don't see the value. Some of you guys don't see the value from Stingray to ERay. I don't see the value of adding $50,000 to $100,000 to your car to make it go 1 to 2 seconds faster. Let's be adults here. Even though I can afford it, I don't see the value. Just like some of you guys say, well, I can afford an ERay, but I don't see the value there. Same thing applies to me. I only see the value of the Stingray to ERay jump because I've owned both cars. Some of you guys have never owned it. Well, the majority of you guys watching have never owned both cars. But there are a lot, I'm starting to meet in the comment sections, a lot of ERay owners. I'm meeting a lot of them. I'm meeting a lot of ERay owners, and they are happy. They are happy. They are happy with their cars, and they're happy with their choices, and they're happy that they moved from the Stingray. I've seen ERay owners that came from a Z06, and the reason they say, man, this is a more realistic Corvette for me. It looks just like my Z06. It's got exclusive wheels. I got more standard features on this than my Z06. And also, it's all-wheel drive. That is a big kicker for a lot of people who are buying these newer CA Corvettes. So the conversation from that is value, worth, all that, that's all subject, that's all personal. But the ERay, for the people that I know went from the Stingray to the ERay or the Z06 to the ERay, they all kind of mirror the same type of conversation. Man, I could drive it anytime I want to comfortably. They all say, I can drive the other cars, but I can drive this comfortably, man. I could literally it's all good. And I'm thinking, yeah, that's a good thing. Yeah. So you're going to find value and worth in whatever car that you're buying. After owning the Stingray, I can confidently say, like I've said multiple times, line up the ERay next to a Stingray. Pull up next to an ERay. 40 roll, 50, 60, try it whatever you want. Don't try a dead stop, but try whatever you want. Because you're right, it does have the same engine on the rear, but you'll be amazed how much more this car is with the front mounted electric motors. And remember, it's wider, lower planet to the ground, fat 13.5-inch wheels on the back. I mean, the car is crazy. So while you can't see value in some things, we all won't see the same value in something. But I can tell you firsthand, coming from the Stingray, I said it. I can't stop. I just can't stress it enough. I won't be going back to an ERay, or excuse me, a Stingray from an ERay. And I can guarantee you, anyone who has left a Stingray and went to an ERay, they're gonna say the same thing. Like, there's no way I can go back to a Stingray. And again, like I said before, I've seen some people say I can't go back to a Z06. I love the flat plane crank, but it's got horrible gas mileage. I got to stay in the RPMs. Yes, it's faster up top than the ERay. It's a rocket. It launches. It's really fast up top. Yada yada yada. But I didn't feel like I was having any fun just in regular old driving. The ERay has a lot of advantages because you can tame this car. If I don't want to be all loud and rowdy, I just drive it like a normal car. Get 25 to 30 miles on the highway. That's what the Stingrays should be getting if you're driving it, if you're driving it the way you could possibly drive it. But all I can say is, man, it's Team Chevy for sure. If you don't like the ERay, you just don't like it. I would suggest don't watch videos on it. That's what I do. I particularly if I hated the Stingray or like Ferrari, I don't care for Ferraris and Lambos like that. I don't go searching videos on them just to try to start a fire up the comment section, you know, and get people to get worked up about. I don't do it. Most of the time when people are posting videos, they don't even read the comments. But me, I like to interact with the people in the comments. As long as you're respectful and you're engaging in the conversation. So the last week's video, I liked it. I thought it was cool, man. I mean, it's good to engage back and forth like that and, get other people's perspective. And so you may not see value in the ERay, but I do. I do. I see tons of value and I see tons of potential. Yeah, but I'm not into spending $50,000 just to make my car go 1 second faster or a second and a half faster just to say that I did it. No, that money's going to stay in the account. It's not going to happen. This car is fast enough for the street. It's a street Corvette. The Stingray is a street Corvette as well, but this is just the ultimate street Corvette. You can pull this thing out in any situation and you can feel comfortable driving it. And you still have a whole bunch of power at your disposal, and you're gonna love the way it looks when it's rolling. Man, I did some rolling shots. I recorded my car myself. Oh, it's just so sick. Anyway, it's your man Jay. Hope you enjoyed this week's video, and look for more. I'll see you next week. Take care.